three-phase delta-connected alternating unit. Patrick's garage. But this alternating current rectified by diodes. And we get our electricity from the stator, and this is different from old times generators. This is absolutely modern construction which used also in all modern cars. And one differs probably that relay regulator situated under the fender. In modern alternators it included into the body of the alternator with brushes. So here is a 35 amps, which probably enough. And here is arrow shows rotation. Bosch, relay regulator Bosch. Today we have two old alternators to compare them, and we should see their condition of bearings. Yes, weakest point of their alternators, diodes inside. But we can't check them easy way. We need to disassemble alternator, and only after that we can check the diodes. We always can suppose if was violence, these diodes can easily suffer from electro welding, and they can be destroyed after welding. So before making any body works with welding will be absolutely important to disconnect alternator. And when we charging the battery from any sources, will be better to disconnect the battery. So wrong diodes not obvious, but they can create very sneaky symptoms. These bearings not in good condition, and here is problem from salt. You see this brush was falls down with their unit, and we can observe our stator, our slipper rings of rotor, and here we see at least they're not burned. Copper surfaces of rings worn, but they wears evenly, nothing wrong. Turner can align this diameter if it need, but they smoothly enough. Nothing outrageous, at least now I think. But when we are rebuilding, will be better to check the rotor isolation, stator isolation, just for peace of mind. Diodes with special tester we can check, or with source of electricity 12 volts and lamp we can check direction of our diodes. I mean, how goes current through them. And as you notice, different fans here, one made out from aluminum and one from steel. Steel rusty, more rusty than aluminum. Aluminum not so suffer from salt as steel. And I've removed this particular one because it was with bad diodes, but here is absolutely rebuilt brushes. I've replaced them to their holder. Field current goes through these brushes to their rotor. So only after that our alternator starts producing electricity. So our alternator never going to produce electricity without this seduction, without this seductive current, if we can say that polite. So here is our brush brushes, so we can remove them and install gingerly and gently. You see, this holder was washed by me, so when they are worn less than minimum, you can buy them. They are cheap, these brushes, graphite brush, so it's not death sentence. More worn when bearings worn. Now very too hard to find parts for Bosch electrical equipment, and to get these parts can become almost impossible in the near future, because nobody makes them anymore. So if you have no parts, so any substitute, there is no sense to even start to disassemble them and rebuild them. And here is our diodes, which are very stable to wiggling electricity, to welding electric. And when you look, see that somehow they was soldered out. Now this panel looks a little bit faded, but we can paint it with black enamel. Here is our silicon diodes. These alternators are notorious for lasting forever, but diodes very weakest point. And yeah, they didn't paint this panel great. But if it's a badge of honor for you, you can clean it and paint again. But we don't worry about rust. This is not rusty metal. But if we can paint it, it will be a little bit shiner. We can also choose a different color just for diversity. And I think needless to say that all should be done as from factory. There is horrible noise, as I suppose, from bearings. Stator, rotor nuts not touched to the stator, I think. And if we have access to original parts, we can gladly replace them, or to pay mechanics to do this job. But if it's absolutely worn, maybe will be better to buy the new one. But the old one, just take it to the recycling center, probably get some money for copper inside. Here is the book we can learn about alternator, and you don't have to worry about somebody screwing it up, repairing your alternator, because we always exhibit unwillingness to trust mechanics. And main thing in main electrical equipment, access to buy authentic parts or quality substitutes. Here is our relay regulator, which available even today, modern nowadays production. So we not always can get spare parts for 50 years old cars. That's a minor flaw of our modern society. Oh, if you have access to new parts, you can try doubling with these beautiful alternators. So with parts you can rebuild them if you want to, but without parts it will be immensely more complex. So absence of spare parts can severely inhibit repairing process and can put you in a state of lowered mood. or only when you're sure that you can accomplish all their work you should start only in this case. Now, thank you so much for your attention. Bye for now.